Hey guys, it's Miss Diane from Thomson Kid Stop. I just wanted to say I hope you're all doing well and keeping busy, getting your work done, and trying to get outside and get some fresh air and get some exercise. So all with keeping a safe distance. I'm here today to show you a craft that's perfect for this time of year because it's spring and all the birds are out, and I'm sure every one of you can hear them chirping away like I can. So what this is a homemade bird feeder, and it should have pretty much everything we're using is something you have at home or in your yard. So some of you have made these probably before. We would love to see any pictures that you might capture of birds that come to it, or if you see a bird and you want to tell us what the bird was or what it looked like, we would love to see that too. So we're going to get started and just give you a heads up on what you're going to need for supplies. The first thing you're going to need is a toilet paper roll cleaned off, or a paper towel roll, either one, or even a wrapping paper roll. Any of those will do. Sometimes the wrapping paper rolls are a little hard and hard to cut, so I find that these are easiest. So I'm using a toilet paper roll. The other thing you're going to need is bird seed or cereal or any kind of nuts, anything you have in the house that you think birds would like. That's going to go obviously on top of the paper towel roll or toilet paper roll. But first, prior to putting that on, we're going to put peanut butter so that it has something to stick to. And whatever kind of peanut butter you have, I'm going to pull that out. If you don't have peanut butter, you could use any type of sticky substance that you think a bird might like. I was trying to think of some ideas, possibly frosting, because all they're really eating is the seed. And it's pretty cold out these days, so you don't have to worry about anything melting. So anything like that that's sticky, that will hold the seed, is perfectly fine. The other thing you're gonna need is some string. I'm using a string that's not too thin and not too thick. Anything you have is fine. The only thing I wouldn't use is thread for sewing because it's too thin. You'll need something to spread the peanut butter with. You will need some scissors to cut your holes in your toilet paper roll, and some sticks from your backyard. These are going to be what the bird will perch on to eat off of the toilet paper roll. Okay, so to get started, we are going to take the toilet paper roll, and with the help of an adult, I would suggest, depending on how old you are and how sharp your scissors are, I would prefer you ask an adult to help you with this part. So we are basically going to cut a couple of holes in the toilet paper roll. Now the easiest way to do this, if you have a single hole punch, that's probably the easiest. I don't have one. I'm actually going to use scissors. And all you're going to do is kind of pinch the toilet paper roll, and you're going to cut a very small triangle. You do not want it to be too big, or the stick is going to be wobbly. So, and if it's not big enough, once you start sticking the stick in there, it should wedge itself in and make it a little bit bigger. So that's how I'm going to start off mine. The second hole, so that the stick comes out the other side, will be directly across from the other one. So you're just going to flatten the roll again, pinch it, and cut another small triangle. So before you go any further, if you want to test out your stick, you can do that, just to see if it fits okay. Here's my stick right here. I'm gonna put it through there and see how it does. Perfect. So here's my stick right here. And I'm gonna actually cut off a piece of it because it's a little too long, and you can just break a stick like that. So there we go, that's the first part. Okay, so we'll leave that like that. The second thing you're going to do is put two more holes on top. This is to insert another stick, not only for the birds to perch, but also to tie string to it so that we can string it up on a branch. Now, you want the second holes to be opposite the first holes. So where you have the stick going this way, for the first set of holes, you want it for the second set of holes to go the opposite way. So the holes are going to be on the opposite ends of where the other ones are. Again, I'm going to pinch my toilet paper roll, get my 2 little triangles. Again, you don't want the triangles too big because then the stick will be kind of falling out. I'm going to get my second stick. A lot of times these sticks have little bud nodules on them, and you might want to try to get them off only because the stick might get stuck. If not, just push and it will go through. Either way is fine. Okay, so here is what mine looks like right now. Okay, the next step is the string. So we're going to cut, to be safe, because you don't know when you get outside how this is going to hang, just cut a little over an arm's length. And then you should have enough so that it'll be able to hang long enough. And all you're going to do is take the string, you're going to tie it to the top branch on one end, because we're doing a string, one string on one end and one on the other, and you're just going to tie it into a knot. Very simple, just like you're tying your shoes, but a knot with no bow. And again, if you need an adult to help you with that, make sure you ask. And you want that on there nice and tight, so that when you're done, it should just look like this. Now, we obviously have to tie one more on the other side, or it's just going to tip over and it's not going to hang right. So once you get that on there nice and tight, a couple of knots should do it. This is where you're at right now. Then you are going to, you have a couple of options here. You could mine's long enough that if I wanted to, I could just tie it on here, onto the other string like this. If yours isn't long enough, you can just cut another string and tie it, another knot onto the other stick. I'm gonna just see how this is going to work, because I think mine's long enough, so it kind of saves you a step where you don't have to cut another string. And I'm just doing exactly what I did on the other side. I'm tying another knot onto the other stick. It's gonna look just like the other side. So then when I'm done, I basically have a loop, I guess you would call it. Hold on, I'm a little tangled here. That I can hang this from a tree. And hopefully the birds will come and enjoy the bird seed on it. And to get it so that it's a little bit more even, you just have to kind of fiddle with the sticks. And that's what yours should look like at this point. Again, if you decided to do 2 separate strings, you would just tie it at the top. So either way is fine. You just want to end up with it looking like this. Okay, we're almost done. The last stage of this, which I'm sure you can guess, is to apply the peanut butter. So I'm going to take the peanut butter, and you want to be generous with the peanut butter, and you want to just smooth it right over as much as you can onto the toilet paper. Don't worry about covering every single spot. You do not have to cover every single spot, but you do want it on there kind of thick. And you just keep spreading it. A nice butter knife like I have works great. Whatever you have at home for a butter knife, that's what you're going to use. And you're just going to keep spreading it. Don't worry about it getting on your hands. We all know how good peanut butter is. So basically you're going to want to cover this entire tube as much as you can, so that there's plenty for the birds to eat. And I'm actually going to stop right there, because I think you guys get the general idea of what you're supposed to do. And the final step is to get the bird seed on there. Now, I find the easiest way to do this is to put the bird seed or cereal or peanuts, whatever you have, into a flat bowl. Kind of the actual toilet paper inside, and you're going to pick up the bird seed and just sprinkle it. Sprinkle it right on top of that peanut butter. And it's the easiest way to get the peanut butter on there and to stick. Okay, so I have finished putting on as much as I'm going to at this point. I have my birdseed on there, peanut butter, and I'm ready to hang this outside. It's actually nighttime right now, so I probably won't be going out and hanging it right now, but tomorrow morning I will be, and I'm going to try to capture some pictures of some birds on my bird feeder. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial on making a homemade bird feeder, and I look forward to seeing any pictures or emails that you sent telling us what you saw on your bird feeder. Again, look these up on the internet and try to find out the names of the birds, and we'll look forward to that. Thanks for joining in. Take care, everybody.